So we're here to talk about The Walking Dead World Beyond. I watched the first two episodes. I am very excited to see where it goes.
Yeah.
But for you, how familiar were the two of you with the Walking Dead universe before you signed on? And how did you celebrate landing a role?
Sister?
I love The Walking Dead. Since it came out, I watched it the second that it came out. I watched it for about 3 seasons, and then I started getting really bad nightmares from watching way too much scary stuff, so I had to stop watching it. But I would go to Halloween Horror Nights every year, look forward to The Walking Dead maze. Yeah, I loved it. I love zombies. I love horror stuff. Anything scary that kicks me out of my seat is amazing. And how did I celebrate? The second that I found out that I booked the job, the first thing that I said on the phone was, I can get a new windshield, because I had my entire windshield cracked for the longest time, and that's how I celebrated.
Nice. First paycheck.
Fair. I have always been deeply terrified of walkers. They're mortifying to my existence. Whereas Alexa had a blast at Horror Nights. The one maze I avoided was the Walking Dead maze. And then the year that the entire theme of the park was The Walking Dead, I cannot go. I cannot do it at all. But I celebrated. I had gotten the car while I was pulling into like this movie theater parking lot with my mom, and my agent called and my manager, and they gave me the news. For some reason, I was like, I'm fine, we're cool. And my mom is just over the moon. I was like, let's still go see this movie and act like this is just a normal day, And we were sitting there literally just jittering, just shaking, just like excitement, like overwhelmed. We made it through like 5 minutes of the movie and then left and started like screaming like all the way.
Celebrate properly.
That's what we did.
And now on this show, the walkers are called empties. How would you say they're different from what we've seen on the previous shows? And for you, what was it like, running into your first one on set?
No. So the first night that I was on set was when, for some fabulous reason, we decided to have like several groups of like 10, 15 empties at a time, like doing different things. And I didn't know that they were there because I looked at the call sheet, but still I was unaware of it all. And I remember like opening this door to go into catering to get some food or whatever. And as I opened it, they all just came out like single file. And I don't think they even saw me or knew that I was existing, because at that point I hid behind the door. But it was like 2 a.m, pitch black dark, and they're in the full look. I ran straight to my trailer and called Mom, and she talked me off the ledge. That's how that happened the first night on.
Nice.
I got kind of lucky that I wasn't at night. I mean, like, yes, I love horror stuff, but being a zombie and like outside of it's weird. It's scary. One of the crew members was like, "They're here today," and I was like, "What?" Like, the empties, they're here, and I was like, "Oh, okay." It's like, "Do you want to see them?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I guess I'm the last scene of the day, so why not? Let's go." So I go, and we're driving, and like in one of those little golf carts, and they're just in line at Crafty, trying to get like their lunch or something. And I'm looking at them like eating granola bars and stuff, and I'm like, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It takes you out of it a little.
Like, yeah, and like knowing who's under the costume most of the time helps a lot with not being too freaked out.
Yeah.
Definitely different when it's lunch and you see they have like an iced tea in their hand, or like
yeah,
trying to eat it like through the mask. Like then you're like, oh, okay, you're a person. But all bets are off. When it's a night shoot and I'm delusional and walking out of my trailer and they're right there, no.
Yeah, you're in it. You're in the scene. And now this show looks like the CRM is going to be very central. I know we've seen them before on the previous shows, but they've been kind of off to the side. Can you kind of tease maybe what we're going to see from them, how your characters and the other survivors are going to interact? It seems like tense might be putting it nicely.
There's a little bit of tension.
Yeah.
Just a level of distrust. The CRM is holding someone very important to Hope and Iris. And so we're basically like, you have someone really important to us, but we don't know who you are, what you do, or why you are even here visiting us right now. And that level of distrust it's made known very early on, and from there on it's a cat and mouse game between the CRM and Hope and Iris and their group of runaways. It's a fun challenge to watch.
We're like the delinquent kids that are getting mad at the grumpy neighbor that doesn't want the kids having any fun.
Yeah.
You know, like we run away, and even like there's parts where the CRM tries to convince us that they're good and that they understand us and all this kind of stuff, but we don't buy it. You know?
No. We coupled it very early on.
Yeah, I think from what even viewers have seen on the other shows, that's probably a wise decision.
Right.
But, you know, we do know they've been involved with Rick, Isabella, and maybe, you know, thinking ahead, crossovers. What members of the universe would you maybe like to share the screen with? And do you think that is a possibility?
Daryl Dixon.
Yeah, that's her favorite. I always say Jeffrey Dean Morgan. We always do this. You should have seen that New York Comic Con. Seeing both, we lost our minds.
Did you actually meet both of them in person yet?
No, we ran late. Well, did you meet them?
I met Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and I lost my mind. I'm pretty sure he was wearing like a leather jacket or something, and I was like, oh shit, he's cool. Like, wow. So cool. And he was just so kind and just very talkative and very like, oh my God, I have it. Because, you know, you wonder, like, when you meet your heroes or, you know, the original stars of the show that you're coming on to, like, are they cool? Are they going to be open to, like, this younger idea of a cast? And he was so cool. And I met, like, several of the other stars. They were so cool. But, yeah, if I caught a chance to work with Negan and, like, hold Lucille, like, my horn pole would have to run for her money if I got told.
All right, that's the dream. And Alexa, you want to wield the crossbow, I assume?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I'll even reload them for him. I don't even have to actually grab it. I'll just put the arrows in there and he can take over everything.
We'll just stand behind them in the making sure that their weapons are ready for them.
Assistant. And now with this show, it seems like the Walking Dead universe is really entering the YA space. You know, how do you think the show will connect with younger viewers, especially now? I think it ends up being rather timely.
I think that like every kid is going to look at, I mean, even people in their teens and, you know, like 20s and stuff, I think they're going to see these characters and they're definitely going to be able to relate to them in some way, because every one of these characters has an inner struggle, and what you see on the show is maybe not them speaking up, but things coming out and seeing that they get better when they face their struggles, you know, and they hold each other up and they don't judge each other. And I think that's something that's really important for kids and everyone to be able to see. So hopefully they can be a little bit more open.
Gen Z today is very active. We're opinionated. We have a level of fearlessness to us. The curiosity we have to learn, whether it's about what's going on, you know, in the big seat that rules our country, or voting initiative, or social injustices. We're curious, we want to learn, and we want to help. And I think there's a level of hope that we have that things can get better than what they are right now. And that's exactly what you're going to see in Hope, Iris, Elton, Silas. All they want is to make things better and to contribute something to a world that everyone thinks is already dead or gone to shit. We don't have that same perspective. And we're ready to prove that and show that if the change isn't already happening, that will be it.
And last question, but how do you think you would personally fare in the zombie apocalypse? Do you think being on the show has prepared you in some way, or at least you feel like maybe you could take it on a little better?
Sister?
I would run the other way. I would run. You know what? No more fighting them. No more trying to kill them. That's fine. They can live their life. I'm running. That's it.
I think I'd become a fighter. My favorite part of being on the show is that I'd never done stunts before. And the fight sequences that you will see, whether it's just two of us, or there's a fight sequence that you'll see with like all of us, and it's really cool to watch us all go head to head and tag team with these MGs, these walkers. In real life, I'd be in the field.
All right. Well, I hope none of us ever have to deal with it. But thank you both for your time today. Good luck with the series, and I will be watching. Thank you.
Thank you so much.